So, it occurs to me in creating a power that uses telekinesis and uses the environment to just kind of huck stuff around, that a programming challenge might be how does the game know what object to prioritize? Because, like, obviously there's that little white outline that kind of shows me what I can grab. But if I'm running around in combat, I could be facing another direction and not facing anything interactable in particular. And it could be in priority in terms of what's around me. It could just be, okay, so let me test this theory actually. So if I point at something not interactable in particular and I use launch. So it has the closest thing to my cursor. Interesting. What if I just point directly upwards? Interesting. Okay, so theoretically, if I have my cursor a certain distance from something interactable, it will prioritize that thing, even if I'm not pointing at it. But if I don't have my icon on screen, it will instead use me as the principal sort of like deciding how to prioritize something. So, hypothesis. I'm going to assume that this trash can is what it's going to pick up if I decide to turn this way and aim at the ceiling. We're going to see if I'm correct. Boom, perfect. So that's a really smart way to program something, because there are 100 different objects in this room that could be interactable and that interact and explode when I throw stuff at them or that I can grab. But there needs to be a way in combat for the game to decide what to grab and what to choose, because you don't want to have the player have to make that decision on the fly all the time. Now, I wonder whether or not part of that algorithm has an option for things like, for instance, rockets, if I have a rocket launcher enemy. And if it will get like a special kind of prioritization over mundane objects that I'm standing near. My presumption would be yes, because those are particularly like high value objects. Whether or not they're high value in like urgency, or like how much damage they can do, or the fact that they aren't around all the time and they will explode and thus disappear from the game world at some point, would be very interesting to see. Kind of hard to test because obviously in the middle of combat I'm thinking about a lot of different things at once. But it would be, once again, when we're talking about the pragmatics of trying to, not only make a telekinesis mechanic, but to try and make it fun to use and confronting all of the specific challenges of coding something like that. It could be just kind of some food for thought, I suppose.